Though knew her name, great be her fame, and mighty be her powers. Though knew her name, great be her fame, and mighty be her powers, and mighty be her powers, and mighty be her powers. In joy and gladness, with our hearts united, we shout the freedom of our rest benighted. Long live Liberia, happy land, a home of glorious liberty by God's command, a home of glorious liberty by God's command.
Liberia, Mama Liberia, I love my country, yeah. I love my area. celebrate. Celebration time, yeah, let's celebrate. Our change has come, yeah, let's celebrate. What we can pray for, and I'm happy for. Well, I be red people, yeah, let's celebrate. Celebration time, yeah, let's celebrate. Our change has come, yeah, let's celebrate. What we can pray for, and I'm happy for. To our president, Joseph Yoma Kwaka, we say congrats. To our first president, Jeremiah Kwaku, we say congrats. Says Maureen, we say congrats. Says Laura, we say congrats. Amos Kwaka, we say congrats. DJ Square Production Classic. Hey.
All right, folks. Welcome to a beautiful Tuesday afternoon here in Green Country, Oklahoma. Welcome to the afternoon politics open mic discussion show. My name is Sam Gadu. Welcome wherever you are joining us from. Whether you are in Liberia, whether you are in Europe, no matter what part of the planet you are, welcome to the show. We love to have you here. All of you, our loyal supporters. Welcome to the show. Um, Business as usual. We will just be delving into the issues of the day, give you updates, what's happening with regards to Liberia and also here in the US and Middle East as well. Um, but most importantly, Liberia. Um, it's very good for you to be aware of what's going on around the country, um, but not to forget. Well, when I get into that earlier on, I will be able to do that. Um, but welcome wherever you are. Let me see, Dave. You are following closely from all the way Zedru. Welcome to the show. Yeah, Miriam, Canada, all of you guys, welcome to the show. Wherever you're watching us from, we'd love to have you share the broadcast on your various platforms, chat rooms. It's just an hour show, and I just want to have a talk. Let's talk. What's trending in your area, wherever you are? What's going on? You know, as well as what's going on from my end here in Green Country, Oklahoma. So, just like you heard from the song, the Liberian people have gone to the polls, campaigned vigorously, fought hard, and in every battle, there are always winners and losers. You know, every battle, there are always winners and losers. And those who have won cannot wait to take uh, a seat in their respective offices or places where they were elected. But most importantly, the main office of the land, the presidency. So it's very key, very important, and that is what all Liberians are waiting for, all yearning for, now that they have gone to the ballot box and spoke clearly what their choice is. So they cannot wait for January inauguration. And I just wanted to make sure that our people are updated and also things, since this will be an open mic discussion, things that the media, those of us who are in the media, try to propagate. We hold on to things, we talk about stuff that is meaningless and baseless and nonsensical. Talk about someone else's death, how they're not even going to live long in government or serve 6 years and stuff. When we hear some of these colleagues of ours on their various platforms talking trash and nonsense like that, it's just preposterous. You know, um, Nobody has the key to every human life, only God. It's just sometimes it just baffles us or you when you hear someone saying that. So the man they have been killing from the day elections came up, before elections kick off, campaign time. They've been killing this one old man. And the old man came to America to rest after the campaign. They're still killing him. The old man's still living. So the dead man rose. According to dead man rose from the grave over the weekend. Lazarus, Lazarus rose from the grave. So I'm wondering what else they have to say. What else could they say? What else that they might be saying? I'm really wondering about that. Now that Lazarus has awakened, has rose from the grave. Lazarus Joseph Numa, and not to even go through a whole lot, we have pictures of what took place in Rhode Island over the weekend, as you can see. Just to give you, that's the man they killed, that being in the hospital, according to them, dying, and he died, and the Unity Party people didn't want to tell the Liberian people for Jeremiah Cohn to take over. That's the man right there. Let me remove this piece from their screen for proper viewing. That's Joseph Numa Boakai walking into the hall. As well. Yeah, follow. I'm about to send all of you guys the link pretty soon. Let me just finish this quick. That's the old man right there. You see the old man, the military escort alone. Something else. So we'll talk about what's on your mind. Whether you from the opposition side, you from the imposition side, whatever you belong to, welcome to the show. That's Joseph Numa Boakai and his wife, right there. See the escort alone, you see those guys moving in. No joke. That's the United States Task Force Police. These guys are always on the ready. They don't play, well armed, so he is moving more or less already like a president. This is respect, honor. When I saw that convoy, it was something else. Joseph Numa Boakai. Yeah. And of course, guess what, though? He's already beginning to do his due diligence for the world to see. That's Joseph Numa Boakai at the State Department in Washington, D.C. Right there with the Assistant Secretary of State, for African Affairs, Anti-Corruption and Sanctions Committee yesterday. When we tell you the old man know what he's doing, this is diplomacy. He understands how to navigate the corridors of diplomacy, folks. But guess what? Before I really get into this tonight or today, this afternoon, listen to this beautiful, beautiful piece.
So let's come together and unite. No more happy is all that we have. Y'all let come together, celebrate. We my people, celebrate. Your fat people, celebrate. Killer people, celebrate. Virulent people, celebrate. Liberian people, celebrate. Celebration time, celebrate. Let's celebrate. What we've been praying for and I'm happy for. Liberian people, let's celebrate. Celebration time, let's celebrate. Our Jesus come, let's celebrate. What we've been praying for and I'm happy for. See, we've been suffering so long, we don't want to end. Rescue to it. Do it and see. Walk out do it and see. No more segregation. We coming to education. Congratulations to my president and the nation. Come on, Liberia, stand. All Liberia, stand. Sweet Liberia, stand. Big man, stand up. Everybody move, let me see your hands up. Give it long way, so now we can't stop. True for life, that is a fucker all talk. We get to show love to the people. it will need a good thing. I don't want my name because you know the input. Jack my people, you can see the beats. From cast to case, that's just a pack of your bits. That's a
All right, folks. There you have it. I keep getting disruptions, from callers. I need to have my phone on the. I forgot to have my phone on the do not call list. So sorry about that, but we back right into the broadcast. So welcome all of you who are watching on different platforms, on YouTube, on Twitter, on Twitch, on Facebook. Welcome to this broadcast, this afternoon or evening broadcast. My name is Sam Gadu. Flomo Livingston, welcome to the show. Dave, Follow Samuel, welcome. My mother, Mary Fowler, welcome to the show as well. But yeah, so what's on your mind? And what I would do as well is I would drop the link right into the comments section. And if any of you guys want to be able to come on, you can come on. You can have your say. This is why Talk TV Media is all about. Independent, because we give people room to talk, to express themselves, their voices, because all voices must be heard. Because why we are the voice for the voiceless here at Talk TV Media Network. So I am going to drop the link right there into the comment section for especially those who will love to come and give their pieces, especially with the topic on the screen. What's your expectation of the incoming JMB's administration? That is it. What is your expectation? So when you look at that, before we talk about the expectation level, right? I really want to talk a little bit more about something that Liberians practice, and I think a lot of media institutions have not grappled with the fact that this is a whole different administration. This is not business as usual. The way we are used, or other media counterparts are used to receiving news and broadcasting, right? Where George, we are everywhere he show. The only person that is the media guy that covering him, all his funny stuff, that Carrasco, right? And he has no expertise in the world. He just got a big tablet in his hand. It's not professional, all of that. And the people, the team around Joseph Nyamubuakai understands that information is very key. And how you release information, how you expose your leader will make the world take your leader very serious. So information, how you protect information before you disseminate that information or take that information out for the world to consume is very key. And so you want to surround yourself with the best media minds. And this is where, honestly, I think the executive mansion, the incoming administration needs to have those of us, institutions that are legally registered and paying their due process, paying their fees, their taxes to the Liberian government. They should be the one in the House legislature. They should be the one at the executive mansion covering the president as well. Not someone who called himself overnight journalist with a cell phone or a tablet. No, because that's not fair. If an institution is legally registered like ours and paying our taxes, our due diligence doing that, it will be unfair for the Ministry of Information to have a media team covering the president or members of the legislature, just individual personalities because it's by who know you. No, we have to get away with that. And if that is not done right and organized, we'll point it out. We'll bring it out here. Yeah. Because we could as well function individually, like those who are functioning individually as entities, but they are not entities. They are not registered with the Liberian government. They are not paying their taxes to the Liberian government as media institutions, right? It is by who know you. We could do the same thing. And other media institutions could do the same thing too, to defraud the government. We could, right? So the government needs to understand this as the new incoming administration comes to play. That's why I'm asking the question: what is your expectation of the incoming administration of Joseph Numa Boakai? They have to give us, they have to lay the ground rules, how they want the media to cover them and who should be covering them. I understand not all fingers are equal. Institutions are different, right? In the country, there are those who are heavyweights, there are those who are not heavyweights. I get it. But there's a level playing field, though, because they're paying taxes, we're paying taxes. They pay to register their entities, we pay to register entities. And if you leave those entities that are paying and playing their due diligence, and you take individuals like Galasco was covering President Weah. Everywhere President Weah went, only Galasco sitting on top. You see him sitting on top of the TV, on top of the truck or vehicles, as though he's a journalist or whatever. It's just self-promotion. You know, image is key. The media is very key because the way we present the country to the world matters. The people, the media team here in America and in the diaspora in Europe, they just don't portray their countries, about all the bad stuff. The news is not just centered around bad stuff. Because what? They want the image of their country to shine to the rest of the world. It is not that bad stuff. Ugly stuff is not taking place. It is, believe me. Every day, people dying in America, people dying in Europe. But you don't see it on national media, on their platforms like that. No, you don't see it. Only us, African media. Because the only thing that we consider news is when it's bad, when someone is killing someone out in the street. A lot of bad stuff is taking place right now between Hamas and Gaza, Israel, right? Ukraine and Russia. There are a lot of heinous crimes taking place, but you just don't see that. Why? Because these guys understand the power of the media. They understand who sits behind the mic, the power they have. So the Joseph Numa Boakai have to have that full understanding as to those who are really patriotic to the country, right? In protecting the image, the good image, and how we portray, the media portray. Because there are some people, they feel like as long as they can sit on Facebook or behind a mic and they see a lot of lights going up, they think that's it. That's all to it. No. It's far more than that. So that is my expectation. One of my expectations, for the Joseph Numa Boakai administrations that is coming up. I am expecting a lot from them when it comes to the media to revamp the media landscape. That is one of my expectations. We need to do that. If we don't do that, it's not going to have a good image, on the government. We need to do that, the media landscape, because we need to weed out all those junk journalists out there, those who are not in the business of paying their dues or registering their organizations, those who are in the business of covering news under the rug, and beating the system. The days of beating the system are over. We'll call you out. That's it. So I hope that people around the old man will have a full understanding. Can't wait to see who the next Minister of Information will be. And that's another thing too I wanted to put out, even though I'm in the media business. There's nothing like Ministry of Information here in America. I just feel like that's an entity where actually it's just wasting money, where money is just going. Nothing like Ministry of Information in America. There are media institutions that cover governmental issues or events, right? There are media institutions here who keep a complete guide and watchdog over those media institutions is the is the Liberian is the American government. Because when you err, you go against the rules of journalism and the ethics, you get sued. Your entity will get sued. When you spend millions of dollars or hundreds and thousands of dollars, you know, for defamation of character as a media entity, then next time you'll know how to cover news. Very important. So there is nothing like Ministry of Information here in America. So Liberia has Ministry of Information. What is the benefit of it? Every day, yeah, they go and every Thursday and just cover news and giving it's a propaganda arm of government. You know, the government can use ELBC. That's already functioning. So that aspect of the propaganda arm, you know, of the government, I think we could save a lot of money as a media practitioner. You know, if we don't have, if we cancel Ministry of Information, that's just my take. You can disagree. That's just my take on that. But I've said enough on that, and I'll be moving on to the next expectation. What's your expectation of the incoming JMB's administration? What's on your mind? Let me see. I see my colleague back there. My man, how you doing? You think you're in Liberia?
Hello?
Yeah, you think you're in Liberia?
No,
Yeah, it's cold like this. The weather cold. And then you say now muscle t-shirt on national media?
I'm in a room. I put a heater on, but let me call myself.
You got woman over there. I want the woman to come get trouble. These people there, young guys, and see all that muscle. Don't come create trouble here for me. Now we're talking.
So I can be in a situation that you can handle it.
Now we're talking. Now it's a whole lot better. Now it's a whole lot better. Welcome to the show.
Thank you so much.
It's been a while. So today, it's just an hour show. We're just talking about what's on your mind, and where you met me has to do with Joseph Nima Boakai, and being in the news all of this time. People talking nonsense since he came to the U.S. He's dead. The old man is dead. I'm like, they've been killing this old man before the election started. They are not tired yet. You know, beating a dead horse. So, to their surprise, the Lazarus that they buried, the Lazarus rose from the grave over the weekend. And I don't know what else they have to say. This is the Lazarus they said was dead with his beautiful wife, Mark Kutuma, all right there. That's the Joseph M. Boakai who we call the Lazarus. I don't know how my man. Say your talk, man. Tell your talk. I don't know how many times these people are going to keep talking nonsense to about someone's death as though they are God. They have the keys to the person's life.
You know, Sam, the strategy of the current government, Joe Walker, having been working. So, in my thinking, I think they should have changed the narratives because prior to the campaign, they had a lot of negative stuff about him, how he is sick, how he coming down tomorrow, he coming down soon and soon time. That didn't work. The opening of the campaign, we saw members of the ruling party, going the casket, portraying the picture of the former vice president, now president-elect, during the campaign process, a ruling party, saw them putting casket. That didn't work. The man went to the ballot box of the election process. He won you guys. Now he came to the U.S. to meet with partners, to engage serious war leaders that will help us to revamp our economy. And then they still carry the news that he came for back surgery, So
no, but even if he, let me hold you right there. Even it is necessary for him to come for checkup. as every one of us, we all do that,
Mm-hmm.
right? We
Mm-hmm.
all do that. We all come for checkup. We all do our normal
Medical
routine
routine.
yearly checkups as young people. How much more 79-year-old man who has just gone through a vigorous and rigorous campaign? The old man went into all trenches, most trenches in Liberia.
Mm-hmm.
You don't expect him to come and take a checkup or rest? Nonsense. Go ahead.
Yeah. Yeah.
Who's
So
over there? Who am I looking at back there?
That's
Oh,
your big brother.
oh, okay. Yeah, Seves, welcome to the show, man. You buy from Liberia.
Yeah, back from Liberia.
How was it? How was it? How was it? How was Liberia?
Liberia was very much intense in terms of politics. You all watched what went on. Everywhere was tension. Everywhere was tension. You know, they got her playing everything that they will win the election by all costs. So they have otherwise require for an incumbent to win election, money, security, everything you can think about. So we were on the disadvantage, less money, no security, more mobility, logistics zero. But we have to leave our comfort zone and enter into the trenches to
Mm-hmm.
make sure that if God want to bless you, you too have to show some effort. God was on
Right.
our side, so we did not sit in under air condition. We were in bushes. For me, I did not even spend much time on the. I always used to be in Foya, even in Foya town. I used to be in Foya town. I was always in towns, gathering people to speak to them. That was what we did, and God, by God's grace, we emerged victorious. Just give God the glory for what happened in Liberia.
Wow. It was a very rigorous campaign, of course. But you met us. Fast forward on the topic over here, and when your turn come, whatever you want to talk about, you can talk about it as well because we only have maybe an hour or an hour 30 minutes from here. We're talking mainly trending events. What's happening? I was talking about how most of our guys in the media industry are going frenzy and crazy. They think that the way they have been reporting covering past presidents, especially this gun president that is about to go out, President Weah, is the same way that they will be covering the incoming president. And they don't understand the dynamics and the importance of the media, what we say out there and what we don't say, because we can destroy the image of our country and we can fix it as well because it's all about image. We're seeing what other media institutions are doing here in America, Europe, and other parts. But they are so crazy for news. If they are not getting it the way they want, then they begin to create and insinuate lies, you know, to create to make people want to watch their platforms or follow them. Oh, Joseph Boakai is missing, out of action. He's nowhere to be found. He's dead. And in fact, they just did a triple bypass surgery on him, and he can't even breathe. They are trying to figure out. The United Party is trying to figure out how Jeremiah Cohn will be able to come in and take over as the swearing of the presidency. All of that stuff, you know. But I didn't want to call any of their names on my platform because that would be giving them credence, to that nonsense. But I know they don't. They know themselves. Now that Joseph Boakai came out over the weekend, they saw for themselves. They escort alone. You know, I've not even seen a Liberian security itself to escort him like that. This is just here in the U.S., United States security, because they're fully aware Biden hands are full that we have the incoming president of Liberia on our soil, so we must protect him. That's one aspect, and then the media aspect. So I leave it up to you guys to pick it up from there.
Okay, Brother Sam, I think there is a new dispensation for Liberia. When President Weah got elected in 2017, we didn't see him coming to the US to have conversation with the shakers of African democracy. Unlike Joe Biden, president-elect, he is currently in the US meeting with Liberians and then American government officials. Of recent, we saw a post of him meeting the Assistant Secretary of State for African Affairs.
I have that picture right here,
Yeah, yes.
just for our viewing audience.
Yeah, that was a very great move. And then
There
they
they
had
are.
another, yeah,
Amara Kone,
Amara Kone,
Mandela Cooper,
Mandela Kuba, yeah.
Samuel Kofi Woods, Mr. Sa. Yeah, just go ahead.
Okay, okay. So that's a good move. And then also, there were meeting here with the committee that chaired the sanctions. You know, he had meeting with them. So I'm sure President-elect Joe Biden will be asking them to present their evidence so that if he is inaugurated as president of Liberia, he will use these documents to prosecute the sanctioned government officials. So there is another photo we saw Joe Biden going to the Voice of America studio, you know, to have, you know, an interview. We didn't see outgoing President George Weah doing these things. So I think Joe Biden is having a very good start of his presidency. So we just pray that, you know, he continue to seek the advice of the godfather or our traditional ally that will
Right.
help us to change our country around.
What do you? That's what I said. What's your expectation? And this is going to you, Liberty, Mr. Sylvester. With what I just put up, Tanu Jala is saying he expects JMB government to make sure all incoming and outgoing government officials to declare their assets and be published. Accountability, transparency, and auditing. What do you think? You being an auditor, you working in this capacity. What do you say to that?
So before I go to the topic you just made mention, which Mr. Samuel just made mention of some of the move the president-elect did, which is in the interest of the country. I will answer your last and also Tanu Jala concern. You know, over time for me, people that know me have been yearning for accountability in Liberia. So I have not talked to a lot of public platform to tell them how some of us have suffered because we wanted to see this day come to Liberia for a leader to come and say, look, my regime will be marked by accountability. Like JMB have been saying it in a campaign and being supported by the West as we see. So that issue of asset declaration for both those that will be leaving offices and those that will be coming in will be so good. That will be the beginning. Because the only way you can, as an auditor, you will be able to trace an accurate information when you are testing a system. Because we auditors don't go to wish hunt. I did hear people talking about wish hunt. But what we do, we test a system policy that is set, that work over years, over months. We go to test it to see how effective that system has worked. If the system that have been set had not been traced by individual, had not been tampered with, in the process, when we see anything from there, we report. That's why we auditors should always exhibit independent. That is our strength. If you are not independent in expressing your opinion, then you are not an auditor. Then that means you have been impaired. Impaired means you have been bored, you have been influenced. You have not made a sound decision. That being said, the issue of asset declaration for those that are going will give us some path, some understanding, so that even the financial investigator that will come in future will be able to use whatever they're going to declare to investigate. Because if you tell us that, look, you are leaving office as a lawmaker or as a minister, you are leaving with 1 million, 2 million, then the auditor will want to trace how you got that 2 million.
Okay, let me hold you right there, please. So where I want to hold you right there, that last statement you just made. As an auditor, what will you do in a case where a government official who came to power did not declare his assets, and now he's declaring his assets upon leaving office? He did not declare assets when he was assuming the leadership role. But now the GAC, and other institutions are saying they should declare assets. How is that? How does that work? How is that going to be important? If you don't know what I had when I came into power, right? And I'm only telling you what I have now, and that's a leeway out. I can get away with that.
Okay, so the part of the asset declaration, when you declare your assets, that asset component can be investigated. How do you acquire that worth? We have to go to the history, and documentations are very necessary. And it will be difficult for you to allow to auditor. Why? Because we have what they call audit trail, how to trace most of the information with evidence to be able to sustain that whatever you acquire to say today, I acquired them maybe 2 years before I took power. We want to know the business you were operating. When that business registered, how many taxes that business pay? What was the cash flow? We'll look at all that one. And you cannot manufacture your cash flow at time. We'll see it within that period. We'll go to the bank statement, we'll trace your bank statement, how your cash will be deposited in and out. And with years mark. So it's easier for auditor to trace. You got so many ways to be able to legitimize or delegitimize your asset that you're going to declare. So there's so many ways of tracing your documents. So even if you did not declare before you came to power, we can still go after you and we'll be able to identify, like what I'm telling you. We'll look at your businesses when your businesses were established. If you said you were doing business and you accumulated so of money before you came to power, we'll have to look at that color period. Maybe you have 1 million according to you before you even became minister. Then we'll say, what were you doing? Or our operating, or maybe.
But most businesses in Africa and Liberia, to be honest, most of them don't do the aspect of the paper trail to keep all of those records and all of that stuff. People do a lot of this hand-to-hand kind of business, even commitment, verbal commitment and stuff. And somebody could inherit something, a whole host of treasure or something.
Yeah.
Why if I find money somewhere?
No. That is the problem. You can't just say you found money. It's not just easy to convince you. Everything must be documented. If it's not documented, you have to give us the source of information. What we do what they call third-party investigation.
Mm-hmm.
If you tell me, for instance, you are doing business, you purchase to one of the companies in Vietnam, you give me documentation how you purchased. I will go there and do my independent investigation to gather independent information. For instance, you'll not believe it. We those purchases that people really make sometimes, they can create their own invoices and put a false company there.
Right.
Do you know they do that?
Yeah, they do a lot of boogers.
We go to that third party that has that name on that invoice, because that third party can implicate itself if it lied. It's a serious charge. So if they are not done business, because we go there and we say you have done business with a man, you two have to see your seal to see the transaction you did with a man on your book, the years you did business with them, to record, to make sure, because we are looking for information to collaborate with what they have on their asset. So we got so many ways of going for information. So don't say because in Africa, no, we have policy.
So on a national level, before I bring you in, you can come in too after he's done Samuel. On a national level or international level, how healthy is this for our country? for
How
audit.
good is our country?
No, how healthy is it going to be if auditing is done? Is to be done. All these accountability and for transparency to work within government. How is this going to benefit our government or the incoming administration?
Okay, that's a very good question. So, what it does when you are conducting your activity with accountability, the rule of law, which is very key, because the rule of law, when you break the rule of law, it affects everything. Even in our auditing, is we debate our activity based on what? On standard, on regulation, on the rule of law. So when those in power or rise the policy, the rules, what happened? They were corrupt. Like you see in the case of argument going between former minister Amara Connor and the present minister, finance minister, on the issue of HPS, something where transaction was done without following the rule. You see that? What happened with 137 million, what have you, all those things there. So that's why leaders are good at when they know they cannot go by the policy that they have set down or the regulation, they still. So on the international scene, the investor particular are looking for key things in everything they do.
Hold on? I'm hearing a feedback. Is it from any of you guys?
No, I'm in my room. You see me sitting.
Nobody's listening to themselves at all.
No.
I'm
Okay.
using phone.
So the investors are looking for key things in what the government is doing. Security, the rule of law, taxes, that because tax is an expense. Investors want to come in the country, they want to weigh your tax law, how flexible your tax law are. And they want to look at what do you do in terms of your accountability. So that when they invest in that country, when they can all these things, if they come. So by the time they hear about auditing, holding people liable who do fraud and other things, punishing them, and in making sure that security is effective, the judicial system is working, which GMP promised to do. The future of Liberia will pick up within the next 2 years. What do I mean? Because investors will come. When investors come, they'll create opportunity for jobs. And that's what Liberia needs now. Because people are not working. When people work and they earn income, they will go in the market to purchase. So the purchasing power will increase. Cash flows will increase in the country. So what you experience, you see that the society start booming. The economy will start growing. So the future will be good based on what we are seeing. If the president-elect takes over January 22nd, and in your inaugural speech, we should be very watchful to hear what he's going to speak, because that's going to be everything you're going to be talking about, people will hold him by that. And people are going to hold him in a inaugural speech. And I'm very sure he's going to be mentioned about corrupt people, how they're going to be prosecuted. You're going to be mentioned about how security is going to be in control of the country, how the rule of law is going to be managed through the courts and the rest of it. And if possible, tax system, they have to revise that tax system to make a simple tax system that will encourage investors to come in the country. When these things are done, I see Liberia moving the next 2 years to pick up. It will be healthy for us.
Okay, Samuel, come in. What's your take?
Okay, yeah, the issue about audit will be a very good thing for Liberia. People that enter into government, they enter into government with a fixed mind to rob the Liberian people. So if the incoming government will audit the government, a benchmark that those that are coming into power, sincerity, because if they see how the past government is being audited, they too, will be careful, reference, how they will work. If you do that, you attract, because once you start to fight corruption, the international community will see you that you want to transform your nation. You get a lot of support. But if you do it like what Josh Weah did, that I will protect you, you're not get people to support you. It will be a good thing for us to audit government, everything possible. If you do that, then even those that you'll be appointing, for example, you appoint Sam Gandu as Minister of Finance, and then today he is aware that Finance Minister Samuel Tue is sanctioned.
Right.
Sam Gandu will be very careful to conduct himself as a public official. So it will be a very good thing for us to audit the outgoing government.
And then and let me provide information on that.
Mm-hmm.
It's not just audit. When you audit and identify fraud by any government officials, that person must be prosecuted.
Okay.
That's the most important. Prosecution.
Yeah,
When the
audit and
person is
prosecute.
prosecuted, it will set a precedent for whoever that will be coming into government. And that is what we are looking up to. Because I have my own experience. When I joined the GSC in 2008, up to the time I left from there, we are audited over 200 plus or 300 audits. Now, all of the audits were reported to our stakeholder, the legislature, the executive, and even the United States Embassy. Sometimes the UNDP, we used to send our audit there because they were part of the stakeholder within our economy. And so the process was for the legislature to select the audit that requires some prosecution to send it over to the executive. The executive would then prosecute the people. But we did not see much done by the then ailing government. Few were selected, they started them. I think 2-3% started being prosecuted. After that, everything went down. What they did is, those of us that were in the field as auditor, the feedback we started getting was that we're making for nothing effort. Because if they were prosecuting the people, then it will encourage we, the auditor on the field. Some of us still maintain our integrity. Some actually started buying in. They were being brought in because they could not express an independent opinion on most of the activity we conducted. In fact, it was on the basis of that I resigned from the GSC 2011 October, because when I saw auditors doing things contrary to their profession, I felt that it was necessary for me to leave the profession. So, and I don't want this to come back to Liberia again. If auditors go and do the job, because they have what they call SCB in our audit, they said before you come up with an opinion to implicate somebody as that the person should account for so thing, while in government duty, you have to have what they call sufficient and effective evidence.
Right.
That evidence will be a matter in the court that it will convict the person. If you don't, then do not come with the opinion. So we tell them we have sufficient evidence, but there was no prosecution. And we hope that this time they can prosecute people when the audit report come out.
So that leads me to another question, right? And it takes me to the sanctions, all the sanctions that these guys are having, the American government is bringing up, as in Koji and the likes, Samuel Tue, all those guys, Nukwe, all of them. It is within the purview of the incoming government, because the outgoing government was incapable of doing that, or they didn't have the bone in their back to be able to do that, right? Now that the American government has been able to produce bring these accusations up and say these guys are corrupt, it should be within the purview of the incoming administration to bring these guys to the due process of law, to investigate these, ask the United States, give us the evidence, because we want to prosecute these. We want to make sure that they go through the due process of law. And if I'm wrong, you can correct me. I stand to be corrected, right? So if they go through that process and they are audited, where I think you guys will still come in to be able to do all the fact findings, to audit and all of that information. When these guys are found guilty under the law, they're going to jail, as well as pay the penalties. Right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So one thing that is a little bit confusing now is now that they are accused by the American government, because you are never guilty until you are proven guilty. Um, what happened to their assets that are in foreign countries or in Liberia in the banking system? Is everything frozen or not?
Until the president-elect takes over, because there's no mandate for that yet. Everything has to be mandated by the Geneva leadership. The outgoing president will not care. In fact, I understand he spoke in his church and informed his supporters that whatever they have acquired during the regime are all going to stay with them, going to make sure that all stay with them. But for me, with all due respect, he's my president, he's still president. He spoke out of ignorance. There is nowhere you, as the sitting president, you have to talk about yourself, whether you will even be free from what you have done to the country. Instead of you talking about you're going to protect the people that have acquired the quote-unquote assets over time. So
Unaccounted assets.
yes. So
Well,
until the new government come in, they will come with their mandate. They will come with and they will be heard to say, look, because it's like when we were in there, we were at the GSC, we were conducting audits. We were giving authority according to the law. Whenever we are auditing a government person or government portion fundings at any bank, that bank is charged under the law to provide every information regarding that person. So it's the same with the government that coming. It's under the law that the president that will come will request all commercial institutions over the world to make sure that each one of them, whatever they have over there, they should declare, they should give it to them to know that will be used as evidence. And they will use tracing as well. The auditor will use tracing because you cannot take money in there. You can take maybe 10,000. You don't have regulation how to travel money.
right,
But you cannot take more than 10,000. You bring it in America, you come and open, you come and deposit it. So if you transferring 100,000, 50,000, it's going through bank. We will know it. We will trace it. We will know where that money going to land, and we will follow that institution, and they will give for every information regarding your activity. Then that government now, the government now will have the right to impose a freezing to every asset of each one of the individual whose name are on the sanction list as they will be going through investigation and be sent to court. Yes, of course, the incoming government will do that, but not the government that in power now.
Wow. That's very interesting to know what's going on, and it'll be fascinating to see if the new government takes over. What process or processes they will be following as well, and very very interesting to see. And with the incoming president-elect Joseph Nima Boakai meeting with sanctions committee members here in Washington D.C., that says a lot. The fact that he's meeting with them,
it's still volume.
Yeah,
Jambi, what I see, he started already doing his job. He should have waited to be inaugurated. The people, were saying the man just got elected. He did not get his certificate. He flew to America. Blah 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 blah. Let me come to that issue. You just said it,
but the owner working behind the scenes.
Yeah. You just said it. You said the issue about coming to America. I came here. I have to do my checkup. 3 months I spent. Normally every 4 months we do our routine check.
Right.
You stay in America here. My insurance primary doctor will call me. Sylvester, he's only come for your blood draw. Yes, they do that. For all of us that have insurance. Yeah. First of all, it's something 9-year-old man who I was with him throughout. He was on the ground 1 year going through vigorous campaign. So if you come to America, even though he did not just come for a health issue, but he came for so many things. And that's why he's doing almost everything. Yeah. So health matter too is important. I don't care how you put it aside. In fact, On this note, I have just decided, Sam, not only you, I'm not going to be calling him. Even if I on the social media, I see them talking their team, I'm not going to make comment. I'll just pass over it. Why? Because I don't want to make anybody relevant. Because some of them are them saying, oh,
Thank you.
and that while they were on open, which will be and then no. We were never on open because we hated open. Open was there for past 1-2 years. When things started going out of hand, that's the time we started talking. We spoke on policy issue. We spoke on issue that are affecting the Liberian people, stealing the money from the cover, using it for their personal growth. If JB comes and takes up and start doing that, we'll go after him too. We'll go after him.
Of course.
Because for me, I always say this. I don't care for individual. In a much that have fought and sacrificed, JB is the president. But JB must do the right thing for the Liberian people. My interest is Liberia. Because president can go, president can come. So I hold no loyalty to nobody. Now, it is the duty of this incoming government to do what we voted them for. But not to be loyal to individual, come on radio like the one I'm here. The time from the president be gone. When I was campaigning for him, here I was saying all the good things. But now I will only say what is unfolding. He's doing a great job ahead of time.
Mm-hmm.
Can you imagine the three senators he met? You must know how influential these guys are within the regime with Joe Biden.
Yeah, very much.
I know them. They're very much influential, and from them went to Assistant Secretary of State again, and then he's having all of the meeting with the stakeholder. So it means by the time he goes to Liberia and got inaugurated, the likelihood he has paved a way to come and meet with the president, Mr. Joe Biden, where he will be able to present his policy, how he want to implement his policy, how he want to work with the American people. What are the challenges that he met in though? Because that's why you got the transition committee working. By the time he goes on the ground, they will feed him with those information. For instance, overload.
So you see, all these people, when they were coming here to the U.S., the propagandists were saying, because Joseph Numa Boakai is not going to survive, they are rushing them so they can come and form a government. I can't give these guys credence, man. That's just nonsensical, complete nonsense. So, but now they're beginning to see why people like Mandela Cooper, the incoming senator elect, Amara Kone, these are names that the international community wants to deal with, like Samuel Kofi Woods standing right there. These are the people that when they talk in the corridors of diplomacy, the world listens. That's it. And they don't get it. That this is going to bring a good image to Liberia and Liberians. And at the end of the day, Liberia benefits because these people are willing to work for the sake of country. Just like in the words of JFK, that ask not what your country can do for you, but what you can do for your country. That is what Joseph Numa Boakai is trying to harness. That team that is willing to work, not just competent and capable, but is willing to work.
So, to add to your saying concerning hard other, we'll soon call them opposition, but they are not opposition yet. And I don't want our advice and all the unity parties to take this trend. We should not be the CDC. They were in the opposition for 12 years, and they were still opposition for another 6 years because they were speaking like opposition.
No, but the mentality. Let me jump in quickly. I'm not trying to. Or you can finish because I didn't want to lose my train of thought. Right.
So what I mean is, what is the essence when you criticize government over time, and you got the power? Then you start another story. Oh, they were doing that. They did not do this. How many times do you hear Joe Biden talking about some measures that the former president Trump did? That's not what the American people elected him for. You saw the damage you came and took over. So that story is beyond us. What is important now is how are you going to repel and face it?
Right.
Like we said, rescue. We are rescue it. Now it's about time now to face it. We are in a period of facing. So what are we going to do as partisan of the Unity Party to face it? Let's forget about what the former president, I mean, he will soon become former president, president. They didn't do in the past 5 years, going to the 6th year. But what can we do? So I don't want to be an opposition in the term that I'm governing the country. It's about time to focus on the broken thing, do debris to collect the debt and wisdom and clean the city and build a new Liberia with system, with asset, with infrastructure to make sure that our generation will understand. Oh, yesterday we were not supporting the Ome. But here is it that we see new Liberia. What was the reason would they not support? Misinformation, lack of education. We saw it and we're seeing it. Because our country is down because even now, Sam, I tell you, some of our little ones that are graduating from the University of Liberia, they may graduate with a degree in their hand, but they are not informed. I'm sorry to say that. They are not informed. And once you don't have the information, whatever you're going to disseminate will be based on fake. Yeah, for nothing healthy argument because you are not very informed about a particular thing, why it should be like this. So we're not going to be opposition. We're going to focus on the job.
You know, when you talk about the opposition, my mind goes to it's not bad to be opposition, right?
No.
But criticizing is not a bad thing too. But if you're Liberian, I'm a Liberian, and we want the best for Liberia. There's what we call constructive criticisms and destructive criticisms. You know, most of the people that we see in the media, they are in the business of doing destructive criticisms instead of doing constructive criticism. Because when you do constructive criticism, you're doing something bad. I'm not just going to come and antagonize you or correct you. I will tell you, I said, Mr. Sylvester, I think if I were you, I would do it this way. Or don't you think if this is one way, that one solution that you are pursuing, what about if you try it this way or this way? You advance those kinds of proposals for the person to be able to have options. Now it's left with them. If they don't do it, now you can hold them accountable. You can call them out on that. But wherein you are digging that a person should fail, that a person's administration should fail, that the government should fail. And if the government fail, the people of Liberia fail. They are the one that were hurt. So this is where the destructive part of our colleagues out there, most of our colleagues and people out there are into. And we need to kind of sway away from stuff like that and become all looking in the best way. There's no way we can all look in one direction. We can look in all different directions, but at the end of the day, arrive at the same place. Because Liberia is all we have. And the best we can do is not just to sit on the fence and talk. It's easy to sit on the fence and talk. All you want to talk. But a lot of these people, when you entrust them with these positions or these responsibilities, there's nothing they will do. They are automatically failures. So when you know you're going to sit on the sideline to just talk, and you know you've been there, once upon a time you have been given the opportunity to perform, to deliver, and you fail to deliver, just keep quiet. Just shut up.
Sam,
that's all I can say.
Sam,
just shut up.
Let me use it. Let me use the platform to also caution supporter of JMB and the Unity Party, partisan. Starting from January the 22nd, when the president-elect takes over, don't expect professional criticism from the people. You can see it from the initial. We should try to know and whoever that will be working with the president-elect, let them focus on the job based on policy, based on rules, based on law, to make sure that there can be gains to impact positively the Liberian people's lives. We should turn down or turn our deaf ear, because you're not going to get any constructed, because we have seen the people, we have interacted with the people. There are few of them are professional. Majority of the people. How will you expect someone to positively engage or criticize the government if they have no policy idea? These are man makeup.
Or
Somebody who
understanding
just,
how government works.
yeah, he doesn't
Country.
even know how government works. That I just want to close it if they have no policy idea. If you don't have no policy idea, okay, you could speak at one of those, like one of them, Dr. Lester. Okay, he's one of those. He will speak on policy issue if the government go wrong, and he'll be heard. I will
Yeah.
listen to somebody like that, because it's not because I've elected JMB, so everything that we'll be doing in my mind will be good. Opposition is good. Even the issue of demonstration. These are tenets of democracy. They have to strengthen democracy. They have to strengthen governance system.
Right.
Nobody should go against it. Only that don't do it with destruction. Don't come in the street, start bossing car, you start doing insulting people. No. Just go like the people do here and demonstrate that, look, certain things the government is doing that is not favoring all. Government can hear you from there and take action. But you're not going to get it from the group of people that we just took power from.
But when you look at demonstrations that's been taking place around here in the U.S. and also in the Middle East, as well as the very Israel, about the war that's taking place between Israel and Hamas, the protest that's been taking place, most of it, the people are not destroying homes or destroying people's lives or their properties and stuff.
No,
they stand with placards and banners in their hand and speakers and tell the world what is going on must stop. That there is no winner when it comes to war. The people suffer. The innocent people are the one that suffers. That there is no winner. So stop it. Our people, our generation.
And they are right.
Yeah.
And they are right. And so when some of our engaging President Weah regime, I'm a financial person. I always talk about financial issue. When the first 25 or 16 billion issue came out, when the 25 million issue came about, I had role to play in that. I was just recently listening to Spoon TV, late hour discussing the Crow report. It late, because all along they be that they never discuss it. I'm not discrediting them, they never discuss it. Even one point I was trying to call, because when you call them sometimes you don't get them, to refer them to that Crow, to say that that Crow report indicted Weah regime, but they're not reading it. Because from all indication, they were indicted. You understand?
Do you think while we wrap up, do you think with a wave of sanctions, the way they are flowing and coming through, you think Weah might stand a chance of being sanctioned as well after he turns over power?
With the speculation, with the precedent that I've seen in America, in the case of Charles Taylor regime, his son was an American citizen. All along, we never saw it coming that he's going to be punished. I was in Liberia. When Charles Taylor got arrested and prosecuted through the court and sent to jail to the Great Britain, later we heard about his son being arrested by the American government and prosecuted under the American law.
Yeah, because he's an American citizen.
American citizen. Then there are speculation. Weah, a French citizen, also an American citizen. We're holding American citizen contest. Nobody can deny that as a fight, if he really hold that citizenship, that the likelihood that he can be arrested.
That's a former president, though.
Yeah, he don't need to. When he leave power, he comes here as an American citizen. He's not a president of America.
Of Liberia.
Yeah, he's not a president of America. Even president of America, they've been prosecuted to be jailed. That who they will not. They will prosecute him. They were prosecuting. They might have enough record on him while he was presiding over Liberia, and they got enough evidence on him. You remember the last time they sent for him? They had a quick meeting with him?
Yeah, the FBI. Remember the
Thank
FBI
you.
when he
You
came
think
to visit. You
you
know
think
they
that
they met with him.
is that a just ordinary meeting? In their issue, there were red flag by America, but they didn't want to come public because we already had a campaign period. They didn't want to help LeBron to say, "Oh, you're campaigning against the man," so they left it. So I'm sure that it's possible that he can be arrested and be prosecuted and be sent to court.
So more or less, it is like a warning, as in, you have a tree standing and the branches are all falling. The leaves began to fall, and then the branches are falling, and now you have this one big tree standing by itself. That when you cut it down, it got no more branch or whatever to hold it. It's just gonna fall. That's kind of what's about to come.
Yeah, yeah. So we even the countryman knows that. The layman know that when you go on the farm, those of us that work in the interior, you cannot cut the big tree and leave the small tree around, because when that big tree fall on the small tree, it will be difficult for you to cut them. But when you cut this small tree, when you cut the big tree, it fall flat, then you'll be able to function it before you burn that place.
Yeah.
That being said,
So
we hope that's not the situation with our president. John Mana, we are for the share what kind of name.
yeah.
But he remain our president anyway, because under the constitution, he is still our president until the 22nd of January. But what we are trying to say here, people in the media, whoever listening here, we are not against any individual that provide leadership in the country, but it is our right as citizens to question you for your accountability, where my doubts are. That's what we are doing, and we can do the same thing with JMB. It doesn't matter. That is not insult. But when you leave the issue to discuss, then you go to somebody's life. This is where some of us have problem. Then they will do it like, oh, he's our president, so we're concerned about life. You're concerned about life. Their concern have been so ridiculous. We saw it from campaign almost 2 years. Oh, you will die. You will die. The man will not even live. Come on, my people. What is this? Who controls somebody's life?
Yeah.
Even Ellen.
You know what the problem with this generation is, and before we wrap up and close, has to do with a lot. I tell people, this generation, if you don't understand the norms and culture, a lot of you young people, these young people, they are the one dying, leaving the old man that they want to kill. They want dead, alive. The old man is the one burying them. What does that say to you? What does that say to them? So just let it go. You don't hold the key to life. God does. The giver of life. Only one person does that.
He's the only one.
Right.
Because
so I want us to conclude here. Our time's over.
Okay.
We could be up. We'll be up here tomorrow as well, folks.
Okay.
And but before that, I have a death announcement, and I just want you, our viewing audience, to watch this quick death announcement by Pastor Howard, and our condolences to him and his family, and many of you as well. If you have death announcement, wedding announcements, you can contact us via this medium on our various platform through our number or email, and we'll be able to do that. So just 1 second, 1 or 2 seconds for these announcements.
It is with great sadness and heavy hearts that we announce the passing of Samuel N. Howard, who met his untimely death on Wednesday, December 13, 2023 at ELW Hospital in Liberia. Samuel was a husband, a father to 5 beautiful children, a school teacher, and a Christian. Burial arrangement for the late Samuel N. Howard will keeping on Tuesday, December 19, 2023. Funeral service will be held at Abiding Divine Disciples Church on Wednesday, December 20, 2023 at 10 a.m. The late Samuel N. Howard will be missed by his wife, Lovetta Howard, his children, his brothers, his family, relatives, and friends. This announcement was brought in by his brothers, Reverend Emmanuel, Reverend Victor, and Reverend Abraham Howard on behalf of the family. For further information, you can call the family of the deceased on the following numbers: 0775 578497, 0555 811297, 0777 870532. May his beautiful soul rest in perfect peace till we meet again.
Okay, that's it, folks. That's our condolences
Oh my God.
to the Howard
family.
family.
Man.
Very young man. Very,
Yeah,
very young man.
Yeah.
You know, he's the last born to that family. All those guys that were staying, that's their family, and he's the last born that just died.
Oh, okay.
You know, yeah, they left some young kids.
They're from Shello?
Beautiful wife. Yeah, they are from Shello.
They are my uncles in a way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's it. And folks, thanks for watching. All of you that follow us today, I hope you go through a pleasant night, pleasant evening, or afternoon as well. Until then, this is how we do it. Thank you.
So let's come together and unite. Is all that we have. Yo, let them together celebrate. We my people celebrate. Yo, fat people celebrate. French people celebrate. Maryland people celebrate. Liberia people, yeah, let's celebrate. Celebration time, yeah, let's celebrate. Our children come, yeah, let's celebrate. What we've been praying for, and I'm happy for. Liberia people, yeah, let's celebrate. Celebration time, yeah, let's celebrate. Our children come, yeah, let's celebrate. What we've been praying for, and I'm happy for us. We've been suffering so long, and I want to hold it. Rescue to it, do it and see it. Back out to it, do it and see it. No more segregation, we can be doing education. Congratulations to my president and the nation. My Liberia, stand. All Liberia, stand. Sweet Liberia, stand. Big man, stand up. Everybody move, let me see your hands up. We give it long way, so now we can't stop. True for life, not just a rock on top. We get to show love out for the big booms. The president, and I think we need a good thing. I don't want my name, because we need your input. Jack for people, you can see the beauty. From grass to grace, that's just a rock on your beds. That's a better to be this, no time to separate. Now what we stand for, Big Mike, we cannot give up. Now what we stand for, my Liberian people. Now what we stand for, we cannot give up. Liberian people, yeah, let's celebrate. Celebration time, yeah, let's celebrate. Our children come, yeah, let's celebrate. We've been praying for, and I'm happy for. Liberian people, yeah,